and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Happy Heal You podcast. Today, you just have me, Dr. Anna Marie, here, and I wanted to share with you 10 powerful holistic approaches to beat your anxiousness, your anxiety. And I want to talk about some natural remedies, some mind body techniques, and some cutting edge therapies that we have now at Happy Whole You. And if you are not local to Bakersfield, remember you can always take a road trip, drive in, fly in, or find someone local that has some of these therapies for you. So I do want to start off with herbal support. So adaptogens, and different herbs that are so powerful when it comes to helping out the nervous system. And some of them I'm going to share are in our Calm You. So if you've ever been into our wellness center, or if you have been online, you know the amazing blue bottle that is a 2 month supply has it's jam packed, you guys, loaded with calming, nervous system calming ingredients that are active. And I specifically formulated this because of the research I did and on how these herbs support the nervous system. And it's all in one, which is beautiful. But I'm not here to sell you that product. Honestly, I'm here to just educate you and give you some tips of some different herbs that are really great. And I'm going to share those with you now. And the first one is ashwagandha. You guys have heard of this. It can help you balance cortisol levels and improve the body's ability to handle stress, which is why it's an adaptogen. Another one that I absolutely love is lemon balm and holy basil. Both of those are in the Calm You as well. And that can help to calm that overactive mind, the limbic system in the mind, and it really helps to just nourish and soothe that nervous system. Another herb that I love is passion flower, which can also help you to sleep at night. So a lot of times I find that people that are struggling with symptoms of anxiety also struggle with digestion and also struggle with falling asleep and then sometimes even staying asleep. And so we really want to calm that nervous system. So when it's time to go to bed at night, you're able to just kind of doze off, fall asleep, everything is calm, but we have to calm that racing mind at night. Another one that I like is an amino acid call or not amino acid. Another one is L-theanine, which is really great, and that's in the Calm You as well. And again, that is like nourishing the nervous system. Kava kava is also great, known for its really fast acting ability to release nervous system tension. So there's all these natural herbs and things that we can take that are going to just be helpful for the body. Another blend that I actually put inside the Calm You is a magnesium blend. There's so many different magnesiums out in the world. I've heard up to 80% of adults can be deficient in magnesium in the US. So we just throw a little bit of that in the Calm You, and we have the chelate and we have the malate in there, or the biglycinate chelate and the malate in there, which is good. We also put in B6 as well, methylated B6 in the Calm You, to help with, again, calming that nervous system. So those are some herbs, adaptogens, things that you can use to help calm the nervous system. We also do some plant stem cell remedies here at Happy Whole You as well, because some people too, there's a difference between a plant stem cell, which is an undifferentiated cell, meaning it has all the genetic makeup to go into the body and do what your body needs. It acts in a little bit different capacity than a mature herb. Some people can't always take a mature herb. So for the ones that can't, we do the plant stem cells. They're also liquid and they're drops. So even when we have children that can't swallow pills, they may be a candidate for the plant stem cell, or they use the Calm You capsule and then we open up the capsule and put it in one of their protein shakes, or something like that. Okay, now I want to move on to a new therapy that we got at Happy Whole You. And I went to this gal's house and I did one session on this. And I was like, I need this at our wellness center. So we already do what's called theta therapy. It's a theta chair. You sit in the chair and we connect these things to your ears. You have these headphones on, you have these eye goggles on. So it's getting the hemispheres of the brain to talk, and there's binaural beats going on. And so there's a lot of restorative things that start to happen in the body when you do this theta chair session. It helps you get into a meditative state. It almost like forces you in that state and calms the mind. And that we've been using for, oh gosh, like 7 years here at Happy Whole You. And we now bought this new product called the bioharmonic bed, which is similar to the theta chair. It just works in a little bit different capacity. I'm not going to say one is better than the other, but they both provide an amazing experience. And our bioharmonic bed is actually in an enclosed shell. The theta chair is not. So again, it just depends on our client. So some people may say, "Oh, well, I don't want to be enclosed," and others are fine with that. But the bioharmonic bed, it gives off these vibrational frequencies to help with resetting the nervous system, reducing stress, and really help with balancing emotions. What we actually have you do is before you do the bioharmonic bed, we have you speak into this microphone, and it goes into this program and it analyzes the emotional blockages going on in the body. And once we do that, we actually handpick different tracks. So the sounds and the vibrations and the things that will go on during your 20, 30, 45-minute experience. It's different based on, the remedy that we pick for you. Um, we will program what tracks need to be in there for your specific emotional release and what you're dealing with. And just 20, 30 minutes in this bed can feel like a deep meditation and really helps to calm the mind. The same with the theta chair. It's a deep meditation and it helps calm the mind. And when we get into a meditative state and we can calm the mind, it allows the physical body to recover, which is really important because when we're in that anxious state, you can have tense muscles, neck issues, stomach issues, and the body is just not willing to relax and let go and trust in the process of life. And so we want to get the body doing those things. Another opportunity to help with anxiousness is going to be some things in energy medicine, releasing emotional blockages. And you can do this through EFT tapping, if you know someone that does that. Reiki is also really good. Coaching, working one on one with someone to help you kind of shift the way you're thinking and speaking about your life. And, you guys know I work with people on that as well. So there's so many opportunities to work on releasing emotional blockages in energy medicine to calm that nervous system. Um, and then one other thing I forgot to talk about is GABA, which is a neurotransmitter that really counteracts the overstimulation of anxiousness. And so I wanted to throw that one in there as well, which is also in the Calm You. I'm looking at my notes of what I was going to talk to you guys about. So that one I kind of jumped over that one. But these are some opportunities that you guys can partake in to work on the anxiousness. I still have a gal that comes in. She's in her early 20s. She came to me and she was having anxiety attacks each and every day. Those of you that have one anxiety attack or have experienced one anxiety attack in your life, you already know the exhaustion that comes with that. And this young lady was experiencing it each and every day. We put her on targeted nutraceutical therapy. We also did some therapies within Happy Whole You. And within 30 days, she reduced her anxiety attacks to maybe 2 a week. And then when she came back for her 4-week follow-up with me, we made a couple other adjustments in her protocol, and I saw her a week later, and she had had no anxiety attacks. So this is life-changing, and I do not want people to think that they have to live with this. And this person, like, just even thinking about going in public and going and being around a bunch of people or even a handful of people made her feel anxious. So this was really disrupting her day to day, even keeping a job, in having a job. So this is something that can really disrupt someone's life. And I wanted to do this quick episode because there are options. I just gave you kind of like a dump of all these things that, you can try, but I do recommend working with, somebody who has experience working with people with anxiety, somebody that can help give you more specific targeted, recommendations so you don't have to go about it alone. I've seen and helped so many people that have struggled with anxiety disrupting their day to day and stealing their happiness, stealing their joy, stealing that carefree uh, emotions that they used to have. And I'm here to just say you don't have to live with that. I'd love to support you or help you, or I could point you in the right direction. You guys know I've interviewed people on the podcast that have done Reiki, that do tapping, that do coaching, that do other things. So, if Happy Hole You or myself isn't the person to help you, go seek out other professionals. There's so many people that have dedicated their lives to helping people restore their health and well-being and vitality, because when we're all doing better, everybody rises, and it's so important. Um, Send this episode to somebody who is struggling, feeling anxious or feeling anxiety. And maybe there's a few tips in here that are going to help them, something they could try, and just start with one thing. It's not like you have to go and do all of these things, but start with one thing and then build off of that. Just so you can start to see how, maybe it's getting the Calm You that may help you. Maybe it's finding someone with a bioharmonic bed and doing a session with that. Maybe it's doing a Reiki session or emotional freedom technique tapping session with somebody. Maybe it's booking a session with your counselor or finding a counselor or a coach that's going to really help you focus on, you know, what is it that you want in your life? How can we calm that nervous system? And then the last thing I'm going to share with you is, of course, breathing techniques. You guys hear this all the time, I'm sure, but taking a deep breath, just working on breathing, because when we start to shallow breathe, our brain is registering that something is not right. We need to have deep breathing and oxygen flowing to the brain. Remember, your brain is only 20% of your brain uses 20% of the oxygen and nutrients and blood flow, and it's only 2% of your body. So we want to make sure that your brain is getting enough oxygen and enough nutrients, because otherwise it's going to say, hey, something's wrong. And the reason we get anxiety, the reason we feel anxious is because this is a signal from the body to say, hey, I need you to make a change. I'm not feeling okay inside. I need something different. So instead of looking at the symptoms that our body gives off as like punishment or as just something that's just happening and we have no control over it, we do. It's a signal. It's our body's way of saying, hey, we need a change. And so maybe try some of these things I recommended, see how those work for you. Reach out to a practitioner or somebody to support you. Because honestly, when we go directly to pharmaceuticals, this can be a dangerous place to be. Um, there's a time and a place for benzos and anti-anxiety medications. However, these medications were only designed to be used for short periods of time, not to be used for long-term periods of time. And long-term use of these benzos and anti-anxiety medications has been shown to actually increase anxiety symptoms. So just be mindful of that. And even with children, anxiety with children, the New York Post had posted that, or had published that, it has doubled in recent years. And so it is so important for early intervention, especially with our children, to help them learn to regulate their nervous system. So if you're an adult and you don't experience this, but you notice your child does, again, getting them good supportive help in a natural, holistic way, I think is so important first, because their brain isn't even fully developed until they're 25. So to give them mind altering medications from the get-go, I feel like that is a slippery slope. And then also, about 30% of men and 37% of women have been reporting high levels of anxiety, and this came from the Times in the UK. And so, again, this is something across the board children and adults are dealing with. And I'm just here to say, hey, let's slow down. Let's look for some natural, holistic way that we can calm this nervous system. Let's see if one of these things can work before we go in and start taking a pharmaceutical that is like putting a band-aid over what is going on within us. And again, like I said, there is a time and there is a place for pharmaceuticals, but I've seen firsthand in working with people directly with anxiety for the last 8 years how quickly and how effectively their symptoms of anxiety reduce and go away within days, some within hours, it reduces of targeted holistic health remedies. So, those of you out there, my heart is with you. Those that are experiencing anxiousness, those that have children with anxiousness, there is options. There are options. And I promise you, just try one thing at a time, one step at a time, see how it supports you. And I want to leave you with a affirmation. So an affirmation is something I love for my clients to say each and every day out loud to themselves. And once they have it memorized, I love it when they really feel it in their body and say it out loud. And I'm actually going to use Louise Hay's work. I love her. And I'm going to her little book right here. And I'm going to read you her affirmation for anxiety. And her affirmation is I love and approve of myself, and I trust in the process of life. I am safe. All is well. I hope that supports you. Again, please share this episode with somebody who could be struggling, feeling anxious, because there is hope and there are things that we can choose to do. Little by little, we'll start reducing that anxiousness in our minds so we can go about our day to day and live well. See you guys soon.